432 to drop radio. Let go. Hey, I talk my niggas surfing the wave. Hey, this is a response, man. Some of my niggas been, following this drop closely, man. Hey, we MHO, we popping off, man. It's all happening. Tone Ivy, what it do? We love sharing y'all dropping. Shout out to the Cunt Culture 24. And I dropped a piece of it here. Let's go.
Get these jams.
Like the energy here is just not right. So I want you to focus on one key thing. This is the ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase Exposure, St. Louis, Missouri, 1904. Keyword 1904. Now first look at that. See how the south is up north, and the north is down south, and the west is east, and the east is west. So you see how they flipped? Already they flipped the compass. So now everybody's direction is out whenever they're looking for something particularly, or whenever they're trying to see where something is, or what something is. So key word that I want people to see, because north ain't south, and south ain't north, and east ain't west, and west ain't east. Little do people know, so they kind of got the brains to look on now. I want you to notice there were a lot of things that were over here. Ground plans said 1904, right? So Morocco wasn't even founded until 1952. So what is this? You sure this ain't the ancient Jerusalem and ancient Morocco right over here next to Illinois? California was right over here, Temple Inn, you see Japan, right? You see a bunch of little places. Hold on, you see Great Britain. Yes, this is on this land. You see Sweden, you see Cuba, you see China, you see Belgium, Austria. All of these places were over here. All of these places, Italy. All of these places were over here, right on this land specifically, right? And this little thing that you see right here, this little thing that you see.
Get these jams.
And I'm gonna let it play again, and then we're gonna see the full version, the fuller version at my bro Culture 24's page, man. But so they'll say, okay, well, these are just a ground plan, for an exposition of just some type of world fair stuff that wanted to include all these different places and all this. But you got the drop. You got the drop. You got Jerusalem next to Morocco, and don't act like it's play. I mean, look, maybe we'll take that if we had no recon, right? We'll say, oh, okay, yeah, it was just some exposition. It was just some fakery. It was just some world fair in 1910. I mean, don't get me started on the world fairs. Don't get me started on the world fairs. But I mean, you've been surfing the drop and surfing the wave mighty close, my nigga. That's not the only map that's gonna put Jerusalem and Eden and these mythical rivers and Ethiopia, all this right next to the Chattahoochee River, man. Right next to Georgia, right next to Florida, and then you got Ethiopia. Look, we know America's the whole world. We're not just finding it in one place. And they're talking about Morocco over here. Look, man, maybe if we were some unlearned people, we wouldn't already know that they already put Morocco over here in many other maps. And of course, the Moorish ox, and this is one of the Moorish ox dropping a video. So of course, they're gonna have a Moorish perspective, man. And as long as we can respect each other's tribes, right? You could talk nationality all day long. We talking tribal, right? Sons of Judah, sons of Jacob. I'm talking about, see, when they put Jerusalem on the map, right? I'm talking Ezekiel 37:26. Just write it down, because if the Christians had this speaking about JC, everybody would have this memorized, Managa, right? Because it's validating JC, but it's not. It's validating King David, right? I mean, start at 25, and they shall dwell in the land. We're talking land that I have given unto Jacob. You saying Jacob don't exist, but Morocco do? Or if Jacob exists, then Jacob has his own tribe, right? So we're talking tribal. Now, Jacob can get along with Moab. Jacob can get along with all this, but we know that, historically there's been war between Jacob and Moab, between Judah and Moab, right? But when you got the Canaan and all that added to it, right? We know historically we got Psalms. Is it Psalms 80, was it 83? I just want to make sure I'm not tripping. Let's try this. Because now that we're talking tribal, we can see, okay, it seems like tribal war. I mean, if you're really looking at it, they hold crafty converse against your people. They take counsel against your treasure one. Who? Your enemies are in an uproar, HaWah. It's the song saying, hey man, HaWah, man, we gotta turn up right here, man, because your enemies are in an uproar. They have lifted up the head. They ain't supposed to be the head, they supposed to be the tail. Some of them are supposed to be servants unto the sons of Jacob, according to the Creator's perspective. We're talking about thy people. So the Creator got a people. The Creator got treasured ones. When I talk tribal, I'm talking treasured. Not everyone can talk treasured. They got to make it up. But you ain't going to be able to deny it much longer. So you're going to have to get down and lay down. We ain't begging you for a seat at your table. We are treasured. We are HaWah's people. HaWah, right? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a tribe. So you're talking nationality now? When you have literally said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. Now you want to talk nationality. That the name of Israel, because Israel, I mean, Jerusalem's next to Morocco, but not because Israel exists, just because Jerusalem's next to Morocco. But if Israel exists, then the power of Israel exists. And someone's going to say, who said cut them off from being a nation? So that nobody can remember. For they have consulted together against one with one consent. Against you do they make a covenant. Yeah. Ooh. These other tribes, right? Edom, Ishmael, Ishmaelites, Moab in them. Wait, Ishmaelites? Hold up, hold up, man. Because I'm talking Morocco. They talking Morocco. Psalms 83 is talking to Ishmaelites. Okay. I mean, this is if you surfing a wave with Drop Nation, Because I got a map. Yeah. Talking about the tribe of Ishmael migration. Now, why would Ishmael be migrating the same damn time as the Chickamauga Wars are popping off? And who are they migrating for? To help the Chickamauga, Tecumseh and them, Dragon Canoe, or to fight and unite with the Kentuckians, which is what happened, against Tecumseh and the Chickamauga. So Ishmael seemed to migrate at the time of tribal war hitting its maximum climax to help the hijack, along with some of these native tribes, fight against Tecumseh. Got it. But we're still talking Morocco. Right? They got Muhammad over here and the Mount of Harmonics popping off in Morocco. We got all this happening while we are being invaded, or are they just setting up shop? Because they say they've been here however long, right? But Jerusalem's here. And Ishmael's migrating. Who are they fighting against? Oh, the Chickamauga Cherokee. Or I'm sorry, the sons of Jacob. Same sons of Jacob that they said, let's cut them off from being a nation. The same treasure ones. Thy people. Israel. Yeah, they all joined together, in case you didn't know, to make a covenant. So when I say, moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, you got to say, who's the covenant of peace with? Because if this said Jesus, if this said JC, it would be on a bumper sticker on every Christian's car. Nah, it says David shall be their Khan forever, their prince. Huh? Verse 24, my servant David shall be king over them. They shall have one shepherd, not two, not three, not four. HaWah is crystal clear about the order. You got an issue, take it up with the Creator. You don't have an issue with us. You got an issue with HaWah. So we'll stay out of it. Y'all handle it. We know David is calm. We know David is calm forever. And the covenant of peace is with them. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Now that we see Morocco. Morocco in the place to be. Right here in America next to Tippecanoe. Right? Recon the Battle of Tippecanoe and the Chickamauga, Cherokee, and Tecumseh. All this is relative because they were this was the battleground. This is why it says X right here. Because X marks the spot when they invaded Tecumseh and the Battle of Tippecanoe. And then they set up Morocco boundaries, right? So don't tell me this is not a more and more war. Don't tell me Morocco didn't have a place to play in the invasion of the real Naga seeds of Jacob, tribes of Israel right here. And this is why they got Jerusalem next to Morocco on these old maps. It's a brotherly war, right? It's a deadly war, right? To this day, Khan. I mean, we over here keeping it most over everything. Love to my jigger. We reminding them. Because when Nagas ain't most over everything, this happened. Now you bound down. Nah, I don't say JC will be calm forever. He, this hijack brought you that. So-called, this straight up hijack. Let's just call it what it is, man. This hijack brought you the static. Let's go, man. Drop go crazy. So, this ain't no new orientation we seen here. Let's go.
Get these gems.
Like the energy in there is not right. So I want you to focus on one key thing. This is the ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase Explosion, St. Louis, Missouri, 1904. Keyword 1904. Now first look at that. The south is up north, and the north.
Who's gonna build all this and then just knock it down? Build all this tremendous architecture and then knock it down? No, that's their cover up because all they did was knock it down. But they have to give themselves credit to say we built it and then we knocked it down. No, you didn't build anything. You found it. Made up a story that you built it just for this and knocked it down. Meanwhile, you just knocking down stuff. You just knocking down stuff. Yeah, east is west and west is east, my nigga. South is north, man. That changes everything. Yeah, they just found you in the Far East.
North is down south, and the west is east, and the east is west. So you see how they flipped already? They didn't flip the compass. So now everybody's direction is off whenever they're looking for something.
You know, north is really in the center, right? We're talking like where the compass is always pointing in the center of the earth plane or wherever this so-called magnetic mountain is, right?
Particularly whenever they're trying to see where something is or what something is. So key word that I want people to see is because north ain't south, and south ain't north, and east ain't west, and west ain't east. Little do people know, so they kind of got your brains a little gone out. I want you to notice there were a lot of things that were over here. Ground plans since 1904, right? So Morocco wasn't even founded until 1952. So what is this? You sure this ain't the ancient Jerusalem and ancient Morocco?
Hey, look here, man. When it comes to the land of Prester John, you know, where's your, how's your Morocco play with India superior in the land of Prester John? Who was paying the Prester tribute? Who was paying King David the Rex Negus tribute? They made a confederacy to take out Prester John. Genghis Khan popped it off. This is a tribal war, man. Then they come in, yeah, they paint their flag around here, man. But when we talk Kalalus and Sylvanus to Texas, and genealogy never connects this, I don't see where you fitting in unless you're, back to the biblical flow, when Joshua was at war against all these other tribes and was supposed to clear these lands, and some of them got away by the hairs of their chinny chin chin. And they stuck around, and HaWah said, oh, okay, you didn't Do what I told you to do. You didn't clear this out of all these other tribes that was over here hijacking promised land from Atlantean times. Oh, you don't? Okay, so they're going to be a thorn in your side. They're going to be a thorn in your side bone. And then what? They make confederacies against the president. They don't want to talk David because they got to be real careful blaspheming on the name of the creator or David. And now that we know there's a covenant of peace, you got to say who's the covenant of peace with, right? Daweh. Tribes of Judah, right? You take the stick of Judah, right? You combine it with the stick of Joseph. Now you got the towel where X marks the spot, right? Right. We knew that. We know that. They want to say it's the Saracens, right? Sarah's sons where X marks the spot. Same thing as like what the Alabama flag, something like that. If I had it up, state of Alabama flag. Come on, man. And then they got the Confederate flag with the same thing. They getting it from the Hebrew towel where X marks the spot, which means the mark, the sign, the covenant. That's what putting the two sticks together. And the sticks wherein thou writest shall be in your hand for your eyes, and say unto them, thus says HaWah, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the nations where they have gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. You got your own land, man. Don't let these jabronis genealogy, they wait into your land, man. Bring your paperwork to HaWah, let's go. And I will make them one nation in the land. Two sticks coming together upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all, and they shall no more be two nations. HaWah, next question you say, HaWah, who's the one king? Neither shall they defile themselves with any more of their idols. Right? MHOE, no more idols, detestable things, nor any transgressions you back in cold, but I will save them. Not JC, right? This is not a JC moment. Sorry. JC's not the hero here. Sorry. HaWah will save us. I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. How good does it feel to get that water to be cleansed? So shall they be my people. HaWah got a people. This is tribal. Every tribe can't claim the creator. The creator got a people. You got an issue with it. Deal with the creator. See how that goes. Or are you going to help HaWah's people and help yourself and keep the code? And I will be their God, not JC, right? But they say JC is the Father. Blasphemy. You bringing idolatry, Jack. That's not the creator. But he's the creator of the flesh. Then where does he say HaWah, thus says HaWah in the New Testament? Thus says the creator. Nah. And then they say he's the son. But then they say he's the father. Like, y'all got to stop playing. Because you blasphemy, man. You're out of code. You putting vanity on HaWah's name. You putting false witnessing on HaWah. And my servant David shall be king over them. So when we ask the question, who is the one king? You keep going, David is the Khan. And who is the covenant with? It's under Daweh. This is why they can't hijack you, Managa. This is why they can't hijack me. Because when they put Morocco here, you say, where does that fit in with the covenant of peace? Before you want to moor up the place, Morocco. What does it got to do with Kalalus in the promised land, with the Garden of Eden, with the children of HaWah, who says, you are my people? What does it got to do with the Valley of Dry Bones? The northern tribes and southern tribes of Israel, Hasharala coming back together. You want to skip all over that just to be happy you see Morocco next to Jerusalem? You've always been next to Jerusalem. You've always been next to Judah and them. You remember Joshua and them, right? This is not, what? What you should be saying is, children of Israel, wake your asses up and keep the code.
Right over here next to Illinois. California was right over here. Temple Links, Japan, right? You see a bunch of little places. Hold on, you see Great Britain. Yes, this is on this land. You see Sweden, you see Cuba, you see China, you see Belgium, yep, Austria. All of these places were over here. All of these places, Italy, all of these places were over here, right on this land specifically, right? And this little thing that you see right here, this little thing that you see.
Get these gems.
All right, all right, all
Like energy
right.
in here, just
Let's go, Culture 24 for the dismount, man. I'm just popping off with you. Y'all sparking me off. I'm not even really in full drop mode. I'm still handling, my own private personal life, man, to getting things together with my, you know, tribe, my family, you know what I mean? So it's like it's step by step over here, y'all. It's a struggle. I know y'all going through yours, man, but hey, y'all keeping me energized, man. So it's Water Culture 24 and all my niggas
Get
rocking.
these gems.
like the energy in here is just not right. So I want you to focus on one key thing. This is the ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase Explosion, St. Louis, Missouri, 1904. Keyword 1904. Now, first look at look at that. You see how the south is up north, and the north is down south, and the west is east, and the east is west. So you see how they flipped already? They didn't flip the compass. So now everybody's direction is off whenever they're looking for something particularly, or whenever they're trying to see where something is or what something is. So key word that I want people to see, yeah, because north ain't south and south ain't north and east ain't west and west ain't east. Little do people know, so they kind of got your brains a little going now. I want you to notice there were a lot of things that were over here. Ground plans, it says 1904, right? So Morocco wasn't even founded until 1952. So what is this? You sure this ain't the ancient Jerusalem and ancient Morocco right over here next to Illinois? California was right over here, Temple Inn, you see Japan, right? You see a bunch of little places. Hold on, you see Great Britain. Yes, this is on this land. You see Sweden, you see Cuba, you see China, you see Belgium, yep, Austria. All of these places were over here. All of these places, Italy, all of these places were over here, right on this land specifically, right? And this little thing that you see right here, this little thing that you see right here, you see how they got it, a sky view? This is a sky view. This is this that I was just showing you. This is what this looked like from an east to west view. This is what that looked like, baby. When they got over here, that's what they saw, baby. They know what they saw, baby. Greatness. Come on, Morris, stand up. They know what they saw, baby. Greatness. You think we ain't had this whole land on lock? Come on, man. Come on, man. Slaves ain't built no White House. We did.
It's like you gotta get it like a double-edged sword. You just gotta surf the you gotta surf the wave, man, with a dragonfly perspective. Beautiful buildings. I mean, yeah, we got a great painting of Montezuma with beautiful buildings behind Montezuma. We did it, more is more, but this is more than Morocco, you know? This is promised land. So you got more tribes that would not be under the Moorish necessary, banner. You know what I'm saying? They would be under the banner of their tribe, of their power. You can't say, look how beautiful this is, and then say, well, what happened? Oh, well, we got hijacked. By who? People that look just like us. What tribe were they? When you talk tribal, things start clearing up real quick. We're looking at the treaties of peace and friendship, and we're seeing that someone made a deal with the devil. Someone was working for the invaders. Someone led the invaders right here, right? Someone made a confederacy, Psalms 83, right? So you see all these beautiful architectures. Yeah, we built them. The treasure ones, not just the Moabites, the Edomites, or the Ishmaelites who are just now migrating, fighting against the tribes of Israel. We know that Noble Drew Ali clearly states, who these tribes are under the Moorish banner, right? Moab and them, Ammon and them, the Canaanite, all that, right? Hagrites. But this don't encompass Judah in them, right? This don't encompass Ephraim. This don't encompass the tribes of Joseph, right? No, the children of Lot is not the same as the children of Abraham. Lot is the nephew, right? But the children of Lot are not the same as the children of Abraham. And the blessing that is given to Abraham, the children of Lot are not the children of Abraham. Now, it's all could be AI, but when you push us out of history, and it's all about who built this Morocco Moor stand up, we got to say, what covenant did y'all make with each other with one consent? And did y'all forget about our covenant with the Creator? And who is this covenant with? Ezekiel 37:26. Memorize it, Manak. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, and it shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will establish them. He's not talking about all those other tribes we just read that were confederate against us. HaWah is saying, I will multiply the children of Israel, the ones that David is over the tribes of Jacob, the tribes of Judah, the tribes of Manasseh, Gad, Simeon, right? Reuben. We exist. You're not going to etch us out of history because it's convenient for you. And when we bring us up, you get touchy and say, what about me? I'm not saying, what about you? I'm saying, HaWah is saying, what about us? I will set my sanctuary in the midst of them. Them may not include you. You got to understand that because we're talking forever. Moreover, or shall I, my dwelling place also shall be over them. Who? David and them, right? And I will be their power. Whose power? David and them's power, right? And they shall be my people. Whose people? HaWah's people. And the nations shall know. What nations? The same nations that were confederate, Psalms 83, against us, including Moab and them, who are under this Moorish banner. And we all tribe, right? We all look alike, but we ain't all tribe. Or else we wouldn't be having this tribal war. This ain't what the white man's writing. Managa, this is history and the Moabite, Stellas, and everyone has records of this war. They refer to Joshua as Joshua the robber because he's supposed to be robbing them of their lands. No, this is the Creator's order. Poseidon knew he wasn't supposed to be here if you're talking Atlantis. You going off with the Canaanite flow right here in America, man. Even Zeus warned Poseidon in those old writings not to be here, because that's not what the Creator ordered. Every tribe has a land. You can't encroach on another tribe's land just because you like it. Now you're taking the same stance as the hijack that's popping up invading everybody because they like it. You don't get to be us because you want to be. That's hijack city. Be you. And if you ain't good enough for you, you ain't good enough for us. You got to be good enough for you first, man. The nation shall know that I am HaWah, that sanctify Israel. The Creator sanctifies the tribe of Israel. I'm not talking about Ishmael right now or Moab or whoever. What you're reading, what you want to misunderstand, misinterpret, is a love story between a father and his children, a mother and her children. Your God, your power, hey, you can write your own, figure it out. But you're not going to blend this into saying that this is what you worship and pop off with, walking around no cubes or going to no churches on Sundays. Because ain't one scripture in the entire Tanakh or Bible telling you to go to church on Sunday. Where are you getting this information? Why are you cool with it in 2023? Why aren't you questioning this before you bring your family and indoctrinate them into this stuff? Let's just drop this telling y'all because I don't know how long this internet stuff's going to be around. I don't know how long they're going to be allowing this transmissions to be going through. We working on our own flow. Halal HaWah. But there's a covenant against us by those other nations. And there's the covenant of peace with HaWah that gave the straight order to us that we got one shepherd. Dawi is the con. I mean, this is what they were invading. And this is why Morocco's right next to Jerusalem, to put it all together. Who is the con? And the covenant of peace is with a tribe. A tribe. Con. Let's go.
We built all this. Moors here, baby. Ancient Morocco. Now, I'm gonna go back to this, because remember, if the new Morocco was founded in 1952, then there must have been the people that purchased this land and took the Jerusalem from over here and threw it over there. They took Morocco from over here and threw it over there, because we can find letters from George Washington.
Or they run on a play and they just laying low. And the people behind the scenes in power to this day might still be Morocco. I know. It hits different, right?
Washington writing to the Sultan of Morocco. So if the Morocco that's established over there in 1952, if that was just established, then this must have been the Morocco he was writing to. That's why they got Cahokia, Illinois, and you also got a Cahokia in what? Exactly, or Cairo, shall I say. You got a Cairo, Illinois, and they say the Cahokia mounds. We got a lot of mounds over here. We were mound builders. They didn't want to call us pyramid builders. They called us mound builders. Let's keep that in mind. You see, we got Tennessee over here, Idaho, fraternity. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. Virginia, Georgia. Come on, man. Like it never stops. You see, Missouri was way up here. So we in Missouri. I'm in Missouri right now, but how Missouri way up here? How is this a map of the land that I'm on right now? But Missouri is just this little teeny place next to Louisiana.
Nah, I do think, this is a map constructed as, some type of, could be the World Fair. Somebody said this is a World Fair map, but what is interesting is the buildings apparently created for the World Fair, instantly huge and detailed, most likely were there prior. And that's really the, deeper dig on it, is that did they just put this stuff up, all this intricate stuff up for the World Fair and then just topple it down? Or were these beautiful architectural masonry built buildings already there? And they just kind of did their razzle dazzle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see Tennessee next to a place called Fraternity. I mean, maybe that's just how they set it up for the fair. You know what I mean? I don't think this is an accurate map of where everything is, but I think it does show, even in the imagery that they are putting down as a world fair, there's a lot of drop and a lot of coded, you know what I'm saying, knowledge in it. You can get the babies out the bathwater. That's all. You can't just throw it away because, it's a world map. It's not supposed to be exactly accurate. Nah, man, there's babies in this, and that's why I'm surfing the wave over here with the bro, Coach 24, man. And shout out to the brother Bay, Malik Bay, you know what I mean, and whoever else is, I'm saying, responsible for getting this information out too, because I'm not over here bashing Morocco and this and that. We just over here like, you know, we're putting the frequency, into, we're combining the frequency with the information. You know what I mean? The frequency of us keeping the code, gives us a voice that has been like a valley of dry bones. You know what I mean? They've been able to get away with this narrative of, everything dope over here must be under their flag. They got to wave their flag all the time, right? Even Hillary Clinton got to have their flag behind her, right? And then you want to disassociate yourself with the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. At the same damn time as the Chickamauga Wars is popping off 1776 for the next 20 years fighting the U.S., so-called U.S. government. At the same damn time. All this happening at the same time is what you want to tell us. At the same time Ishmael is migrating at the same damn time. So Ishmael's migrating at the same time as your Treaty of Peace and Friendship. I think Ishmael knows it's going to be under that treaty and protected, which is why they over here migrating, teaming up with the Kentuckians against the Chickamauga. And this is what your Declaration of Independence and 4th of July and all this stuff is all about. We know Morocco got to be a big part of this. We know Morocco wasn't fighting side by side with Jerusalem against white people. Come on, man. So we got to recognize the tribal war. If you don't want to hear the frequency of truth, then you ain't in it for that. You just in it to spread a lie, to live a lie, to spread a jargon and a doctrine. You just want to be right. But this is bigger than you being right. What J May say? This is bigger than the whoop. This is bigger than the whoop. This is bigger than you whooping right now. And you definitely know I ain't over whooping because ain't no cap on my number 2 pencil. And ain't no cap on Antarctica's chest bone. Let's get the rest for the dismount.
Louisiana and Wisconsin and Ohio, New York. Why is New York all the way over here? How's New York all the way over here? Ohio, New York, Massachusetts, Minnesota. So clearly we had these places. North Jerusalem. For those who claim they're Israelites but don't even know where Israel is, this is.
Come on, man. It's the first time you mention the Israelites and you want to put a tone on it. Put a tone on it. I don't know. Maybe he's talking to some camps he mad at or something. But you heard the tone change. For those that claim they Israel. You can't even let these people be Israel. They just got to be claiming they Israel. Come on, man.
This is Jerusalem, the holy city, buddy. Sorry, you got Iowa, you got Mississippi, and mind you, if you're wondering why it looks so confusing, you should be. They flipped your whole world upside down. So you see south is north, north is south, east is west, west is east. So you have to learn a whole new form of direction. So remember, that right there, if you're wondering where that compass comes from, I'll show you. The compass that you see, if you know nothing about the quote-unquote Mayan calendar, they do. It's right there. See? Make windows out of it, make all kinds of signs out of it. Let's keep that in mind. So that's where your compass comes from. This is how we knew how to navigate. Right? Seeing that quote unquote what they call Mayan calendar, what we call it the moral compass and mental magic. Of course, because we do not go by anybody else's names. Yeah. They said that we would never rise again. So hey, I just wanted to show y'all one more time so you can see just how deep this was and how good this particular land itself is. Instead of going everywhere else and looking everywhere else, remember the west is east, the east is west. The north is south, the south is north, so they just kind of had it all flipped up. They kept the symbol the same, but they put the N up here, and it's down here. W over here, east over there. So now you think this is the west, and we think that's the east. But really everything just kind of been what? Flipped. Right, so like I said, this is in 1904, just so you can see. Just so you can see the date, see we're not joking. That's in 1904.
Just think about that year, I mean, we got all these wars happening up until that point, right? Man, I was trying to not go too deep, man, but remember, man, America's been at war, man. At least 93%. At least 93% of the time. At least 93% of the time. Shout out to global research, man. Global research. Come. So I'm just saying right quick. Again, they migrated at the same damn time, 1776. Right, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship pop up. 1786, 76. They don't just want to bring this stuff up. I don't know, but it's important when it's happening on the headbone of the Chickamauga and Dragon Canoe in there, man. And I'll go into that again another time because, it takes a lot of my heart, man, to talk about it. We didn't talk swan nights and barbar. Hebrew word of the day, barbar, swan nights. Now we're talking Sylvanus, Texas, which is Solomon the Builder. He's talking about mound builders. We're talking King Solomon the Builder is Sylvanus, Texas, where they're getting the Toltec title from. You're talking Aztec, but the Toltec is Solomon and him, King Solomon and him, man. So you're still talking Israel. So no one got a claim to be Israelites. This is Israelite land. Where does Morocco stand up next to King Solomon in his kingdom, territory, right? So what are you saying? That you're rocking on top of Solomon and him? You're rocking on top of Prester John? That's crazy, because then I would think, with Cathay, which Marco Polo called China, India superior, right? Man, I mean, Mexico, Prester John. I would think that, it would be a big Morocco right here too. We're just talking the British Museum, 1530. So how recent, how old? I mean, not all maps are going to give you that. They gonna might they gonna give you the dragonfly perspective. Say this is India superior. Columbus is looking for India. He's looking for the Grand Khan. The Khan is Hebrew for priest. And who is the priest? Who is Prester John? Right? El Prester Juan. Emperado de los Absenios, mixed multitude. Is he falling under your Morocco, or are you paying him tribute? And is this why you made a confederacy? And is this why you invaded? Baba, we're talking Tecumseh's war. So by the time it gets to 1904, right, you still in more and more war. Tecumseh War, Cherokee, Indian, Texas, Indian War, nigga war, nigga war, nigga war, nigga war, nigga war. Right? Now you get to the Philippine War, which is still nigga war. We know what these Philippines looking like Negroes, man, right? Like niggas, like niggas. Now we got the world map or World Fair popping off right after they done all this killing. Now they want to throw stuff in your face. And do you think they just built all them buildings? Or are they still tearing down any remnant of you before they get to Korea and World War II, right? Come on, man. 1904 had to go through all these Indian wars. And the U.S. invading Mexico. The U.S. invading Mexico might as well be the U.S. invading Prester John. Because Prester John is right next to Mexico. According to the 1530 MS map in the British Museum showing connections between Marco Polo's Asia and the new lands. So yeah, like you said, we're on a rise, but we're not gonna be on a rise and go into Morocco. We're gonna be on a rise and understand India's superior. Indios in HaWah's land, HaWah's people. We're gonna understand our covenant of Shalom with King David. That's when we rising. Yeah. That's when we return, right? To my cons for the dismount. One more time for the children of Israel shall return. First they sit solitary so that you can teach us all these lies and brainwash us. Without a king, right? We didn't have a Khan for a very long time. This image ain't walking around our hood. This image ain't walking around our territories, right? We don't see this image. You'll get laughed at, right? What you mean you're the king or what? Because Israel shall sit solitary many days without a king, without a prince. Even though we just read that David is prince forever, Ezekiel 37. So here's another witness, right? Without sacrifice, without pillar, a fod and teraphim. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return, right? So when he says we're going to rise, we are also prophesied to rise, to return. But we're not going to return to Morocco. We're going to seek the Creator, which means we're going to keep the code. And Exodus 20 got us in code. And when we in code, we seek David. But we going to press the 124, 125. Let's go, my jigger. We up, man. My jigger said keep going, man. All right, man. Let's go, man. We're going to press the 125 priest king investigation. Not just searching for David, but we're looking at all the priest kings, Moses, you know what I'm saying? Joshua, Quetzalcoatl. Like we searching for the prize, for the Prester, for the Khan. You know what I'm saying? We searching for the prize. That's the prize. To have a shepherd is a prize. It means you have returned. To have a shepherd is a treasure. And why it calls us treasured ones. You know what I mean? So we get these treasures because we're treasured ones. It's a prize. You have returned. You seek, we seek the Creator, man. That means you are KTC. You are MHOE. Let's go. Rocking with Dawi. So we see 1904. We say, yo, that's right after you did all that killing with the Chickamauga Cherokee, with the Creek and them, right? With the Seminole.
Now, if the new Morocco was established in 1925, March 2nd, I think, no, 1952, March 2nd, then who is that? Who is that little? You see, they got the little pyramids up in there. Who is that specifically? See,
probably the same Morocco we just saw on the other map with the sacred Mountain of Harmonics, where Ishmael's migrating to fight a war against the Shikamago. Unless you got records of Ishmael joining the war on behalf of Dragon Canoe, I'll wait. Other than that, they called in reinforcements. That's what it looks like. I'll be back to this, man. I'm trying. I'm trying. I just gotta see this one more time. I just gotta see this map. Gotta see this map one more time. Mountain of Harmonics, man. Just crazy talk. Crazy talk. It's crazy talk. Yeah. Tribe of Ismail's migrating, right? Where they going? Where you going? Just first look at the date. All right, 1785. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, boss. They called in reinforcements. Did they come help Tecumseh in there? See, Tecumseh gave us a great pivot point because we could say, okay, who's on which side of who? If you for Tecumseh, you rocking with Israel. Straight up. If you against Tecumseh, you rocking against Israel. This was your last stand. The last priest come making the last stand according to whatever historical, notes and narrative we can pile together because they destroyed it all, right? In 1785, boss, Ishmael's coming in. You don't think they fight nobody? They now have a treaty of peace and friendship. They got a treaty to protect it. Before you say, yeah, Morocco, we got to look at these buildings in Morocco. You need to understand the Confederacy against the treasure ones. How much Jerusalem was ripped to shreds because our own family members that look just like us, right? Couldn't keep the code. We couldn't keep the code ourselves, right? We had our own inner beef. So we can't expect nobody else to keep the code. I want to take accountability. I'm not blaming Ishmael. I'm not blaming Moab or the Moorish societies. HaWah said all we had to do was listen. You'll be the head and not the tail. We won't have to worry about this. Listen, you'll be the head and not the tail. You ain't got to worry about it. I'm just saying, don't be so surprised to see Morocco. You know, and if Morocco's next to Jerusalem over there, then this whole battle of Tippecanoe and all this is a war from Morocco teaming with the hijack against Jerusalem here, against Israel. Don't act like we're all just one thing now. And look at what we built, guys. Come on, man. You got to say, look at what we destroyed. Look at what we had to rebuild. We still talking Illinois just like he was talking Illinois, right? I see Illinois, you see Illinois. I see Morocco, you see Morocco. I'm just getting validation of the brothers' information. Then we could talk about glaciation lines and and the little ice age and why are there glaciers in America? Why does it seem like global warming is a cover up for the fact that we just coming out the little ice age because somebody got a mountain of harmonics walking around this thing, high tech, hijack, Atlantean hijack. Oh look, there's a Moorish science temple at Pembroke, small old African town. The formula for the holy mountain figure is supposedly contained in the odd dimensions of the so-called cube built by Abraham and Ishmael. Managa, do you think it's play play? Do you think it's play play? It's right outside the cater. It's right outside the cater. Yeah, man. I know, it's hard to talk about. It's a family war, okay? And I pictures worth 1,000 words, right? It's a family war. This is King Charles invading the last Inca Khan, right? Atahualpa. It's a family war. They're the same complexion, right? They could be cousins, right? But somebody's bringing the hijack and stealing the gold. To this day, it's the same Confederacy we just read about in Psalms 83.
Get these gems.
Respectful. Like the end.
Yeah, we're gonna get these gems. I just want to see the end of it. Let's go, let's go. For the dismount.
Get these gems.
Like the energy in here is just not right. So I want you to focus on one key thing. This is the ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase Explosion, St. Louis, Missouri, 1904. Keyword 1904. Now first look at look at that. See how the south is up north and the north is down south and the west is east and the east is west. So you see how they flipped already. They didn't flip the compass. So now everybody's direction is off whenever they're looking for something particularly, or whenever they're trying to see where something is or what something is. So key word that I want people to see, yeah, because north ain't south and south ain't north and east ain't west.
And somebody left a comment on his page that didn't the Louisiana Purchase happen in the late 1700s? Well, that's crazy, boss. You know what else happened? In the late 1700s? Shiko Mago. Come on, man. Don't say I'm just making stuff up. You don't think it's all connected? Someone is ganking your land. Who's behind it?
And west and east. Little do people know, so they kind of got your brains a little going now. I want you to notice there were a lot of things that were over here. Ground plans, it says 1904, right? So Morocco wasn't even founded until 1952. So what is this? You sure this ain't the ancient Jerusalem and ancient Morocco right over here next to Illinois?
Yeah, next to Illinois, like we just showed. So it's the same Morocco with the same mountain of harmonics nearby. Yeah, I mean, Temple in somewhere around here is the mountain of harmonics, right? You think that's working for Israel or against Israel? For Jerusalem or against Jerusalem? Let's go.
California was right over here. Temple in. You see Japan, right? You see a bunch of little places. Hold on. You see Great Britain. Yes, this is on this land. You see Sweden. You see Cuba. You see China. You see Belgium. Yep, Austria. All of these places were over here. All of these places, Italy. All of these places were over here, right on this land specifically, right? And this little thing that you see right here, you see how they got it a sky view? This is a sky view. This is this that I was just showing you. This is what this looked like from an east to west view. This is what that looked like, baby. When they got over here, that's what they saw, baby. They know what they saw, baby. Greatness. Come on, Morris, stand up. They know what they saw, baby. Greatness. You think we ain't had this whole land on lock? Come on, man. Come on, man. Slade and build no White House.
I mean, just the tinge, you know. You know, we ain't had this whole land on lock. Is that what it's been about? Is that what all this is about? Locking up the land? Is that what the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was about? Do I have to go there? You made a deal with the same United States government. That's why you got the Morris Shield, right? And you made a deal that their friends got to be your friends, and your enemies got to be their enemies got to be your enemies. You can't help us even if you wanted to because of that treaty that keeps getting renewed some way or another. Yeah. In order for you to lock up the land, Monagas, you had to turn against your own peoples. Unless we ain't your peoples, unless these ain't your peoples, you had to flip the script. Now you want to talk 1900s? Let's talk all this killing. Let's talk all this betrayal. Don't ask me not to feel a certain type of way about this.
White House, we did. We built all this. Morris did, baby. Ancient Morocco. Now I'm gonna go back to this, because remember, if the new Morocco was founded in 1952, then that must have been the people that purchased this land and took the Jerusalem from over here and threw it over there. They took Morocco from over here and threw it over there, because we can find letters from George Washington writing to the Sultan of Morocco. So if the Morocco that's established over there in 1952, if that was just established, then this must have been the Morocco he was writing to. That's why they got Cahokia, Illinois, and you also got a Cahokia in what? Exactly, or Cairo, shall I say. You got a Cairo, Illinois.
Because with permission from the Pharaoh, can they migrate? Go look at their maps. They say, with permission of the Pharaoh, we can move over here, move over there. They're still loyal to the Pharaoh. We're talking Atlantis. We're talking Egypt. We're talking Poseidon. We're talking Hijack City. Atlantis ain't got no place here. That's why it was destroyed. You want to rebuild that off that energy? This is not what we rise up and go to. We see why.
And they say the Cahokia mounds, we got a lot of mounds over here. We were mound builders. They didn't want to call us pyramid builders. They called us mound builders. Let's keep that in mind. You see, we got Tennessee over here, Idaho, fraternity. You see what I'm saying? Look at that.
Look at that. So you think there's a state called fraternity next to Idaho? Nah, man, this is how they was breaking down their blueprint to their, World Fair drop, if that's what that was, you know what I mean? But, we see clearly that, clearly it was a whole layout, you know what I mean? That included all these areas of the world, but doesn't mean it's not a lot of drop in it. And clearly, this baby's in the bathwater. Couple more minutes, we out.
Virginia, Georgia, come on, man, like it never stops. You see, Missouri was way up here. So we in Missouri. I'm in Missouri right now, but how Missouri way up here? How is this a map of the land that I'm on right now? But Missouri is just this little teeny place next to Louisiana and Wisconsin and Ohio, New York. Why is New York all the way over here? How is New York all the way over here? Ohio, New York, Massachusetts, Minnesota. So clearly we had these places. North Jerusalem, for those who claim they're Israelites but don't even know where Israel is.
Trying to get
this.
There we go. You see Utah up here. So he banging on Israel, but he just showed a whole big old Jerusalem over there. He said, "Oh, see, I found it right here." But yo, man, it's right next to Utah. Utah, right? Y-U-D-A, Utah. In your Facebook, Jerusalem. Kondawi, press the chime. Con, we're talking the Ark. Con. Arkansas, right? Ark. Let's go. Next to Kansas. Wait, we got Arkansas. And then you got Kansas. Con. Let's go.
This is Jerusalem, the holy city, buddy. Sorry, you got Iowa, you got Mississippi, and mind you, if you're wondering why it looks so confusing, you should be. They flipped your whole world upside down. So you see south is north, north is south, east is west, west is east. So you have to learn a whole new form of direction.
And then you got Connecticut and you're the American. So Con plays in every part of your flow, just like HaWah, just like your breath. And we see clearly that east is west.
So remember, that right there, if you're wondering where that compass comes from, I'll show you. The compass that you see, if you know nothing about the quote-unquote Mayan calendar, they do. It's right there, see? Make windows out of it, make all kinds of signs out of it. Let's keep that in mind. So that's where your compass comes from. This is how we knew how to navigate, right? Seeing that quote-unquote what they call Mayan calendar, what we call it the moral compass and mental magic. Of course, because we do not go by anybody else's names. Yeah, they said that we'd never rise again. So hey, I just wanted to show y'all one more time so you can see just how deep this was and how good this particular land itself is. Instead of going everywhere else and looking everywhere else, remember the west is east, the east is west. The north is south, the south is north. So they just kind of had it all flipped up. They kept the symbol the same, but they put the N up here, S down here. W over here, east over there. So now you think this is the west, and we think that's the east. But really everything just kind of been what? Flipped. Right. So, like I said, this is in 1904. Just so you can see, just so you can see the date. See, we're not joking. That's in 1904. Now, if the new Morocco was established in 1925, March 2nd, I think. No, 1952, March 2nd. Then who is that? Who is that little? And you see, they got the little pyramids up in there. Who is that specifically? See, Jerusalem. Who is that?
Yeah, who's that? You just said it was way up there. Yeah, man. Morocco got these pyramids because we talk about the Mountain of Harmonics, and the Mountain of Harmonics is the pyramid of harmonics. And what frequency was they in? What frequency were you in?
A lot of these different, they say Mexican restaurant. Who is that? Who?
It could just be a Mexican restaurant, man. I mean, it could just be an outline of a world fair, man. I don't know, man. Let's go.
Who and exactly what was that? You see India, you see Guatemala, you see Puerto Rico.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's go.
Long before it was divided and separated into corporations and just made corporate states and corporate nations more so, going back to the actual natural nations. You see Cuba, once again, up in there. You see Italy. So when you see them talking about us basically running up in this or running up in that and doing it, no, we're basically right over here, buddy. See Annex, see the Philippine, right over here. All this is over here. The Philippine exhibition. You're seeing the top sky.
And again, this could all just be where they're placing things during the fair. You know what I mean? Let's just keep an open mind. You know what I mean? What the drop is to me, you know what I mean, is just certain, placements, you know what I'm saying, where they were, put the Morocco flow in the same vicinity, with the Illinois flow, just like we had it on the other map, and then with the Jerusalem flow or with the Utah flow, that type of thing like that. But I definitely feel what the eye is saying, you know what I mean, that this is the whole world, man. I think we say the same thing, man, when it all comes to it. But, two different ways to get there. Let's go.
Sky view, right? With the information right on the inside of it. Just letting y'all get a little. And you see Arrowhead Lake, right?
Yeah.
Arrowhead Lake.
Now, that's some real drop. Like, they didn't just make a lake for the fair, It's Arrowhead Lake. A lot of knockers probably, had a lot of wars, a lot of Chickamauga War.
You know we got Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind. I don't know what they got.
Hey, right in your face, bro, man. Just, hey, shout out to the con, man. Culture 24. Make sure you get his drop out. Make sure you link it in. I'll link it in, below. We stay in most over everything, and any evidence pointing, like my bro Tone Ivy got right here, man, that this is the old world is a beautiful thing because we've been, riding this train, surfing the wave, and the picture gets clearer and clearer, man. We out of here, man. Tone Ivy, take the wheel.
Alright, check it, here we go. Concede that America is but an outlying Asia. Yep, we know. It does not follow that America was peopled from Asia. Okay. The course of population may first have gone the other way.
Say less, con. We gotta whisper it on them, man. We gotta whisper it on them, man. Shout out to the concert for the wave on IG and YT YouTube, man. And we all the same cons, We're using their platforms and we're building and rebuilding our own. Continue to stay patient. 432thedrop.com is coming right back at you, man, and better than ever and more secure than ever. And, we got to start from scratch. We got to do it again, but we always do, and that's the beautiful thing. All praise HaWah, man. So we here, and this is our time to return. I don't know what they talking about. I don't know what their return is. They're talking about awakenings and ages of Aquarius and all this stuff. I think they're just riding the coattail. The creators return for the creators people. Yeah, you can't just backdoor your way into HaWah. You got to seek HaWah. You can't backdoor your way into Khan Dawi. You got to seek Dawi. And, maybe you'll be humbled, what I'm saying, to see the true greatness, that you didn't have to be against us. We didn't have to be against each other. We didn't have to be against our creator. And our creator don't have to be against us. We can rock in the order and the vision of HaWah. Then you're humble. Then you're trembling. Then you connect to the goodness of HaWah. Then you connect to the Creator, which is the goodness, is the frequency when you keep the code. And Exodus 20 got us in code. At the water to the Khan dynasty. You keep surfing the wave, stay up, suit up, choose up.